Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Dialer Sweetlick Tactics. So this video we're going to be going over, I don't want to call it the ultimate guide to week 2 as a new player, right? Or a beginner's guide, the beginner's ultimate guide to week 2, whatever I decide to put on the thumbnail. Because, I'm not going to lie, you're going to see the footage. I kind of phoned this one in. It was in the middle of a hellacious work week for me. You know, there was nights where I got 2 hours sleep. It just sucked. So forgive me for phoning this one in. We're going to watch the footage, or I'm going to show you the footage, or I'm going to play the footage. And then after that, we're going to go to a spreadsheet where I can actually discuss some of the more intricate tips and tricks, or we'll go in-game and I'll try to show you. So bear with me as we get through this footage, and then we'll see you on the other side. All right, bye-bye.
All right, ladies and gents, so week 2 come to a close. Let's recap what is possible free to play if you grind, baby grind. So where to begin? Let's go to our heroes first. So what did I do in week 2 hero wise? You'll see right away 3 immortals. I am pressing up against the 160 level point. Taylor, Serena I picked as the first immortals, right? DPS and a heal. I am still primarily using Artis as a frontline tank. And then a whole bunch of reds this week. So if we go down to res, I did get a copy of res in 2 weeks. I do believe that was this morning or yesterday I got my first copy. I'm not really using Luke anymore. I'm not really using Rakana. I'm not even using Oysa anymore. Really the main heroes that I am using in week 2 was Taylor, Serena, Daniel, Loran, and Leo and Artis, right? 2 vanguards, 2 healers, and then Taylor and Dan as DPS. Dan, I got day 1 of week 1, and he drastically increased how well this account did in week 2. And you should be able to, if you really push in week 1, you should be able to get a Dan day 1 of week 2. Maybe off, given RNG, maybe a little bit off, but I did get enough limited tickets to get Dan day 1. Bot Mark's handy. Serena is Sorietta is really handy for PvE. Not really using Randall anywhere. Falvia for Sincero Marsh. Senway for places where I need 3 teams. Kalaza's getting up there, but I am like limited on healing, or not healing, gear upgrade materials. You'll see my Kalaza only has 1 piece of red gear upgraded fully, and I am starting to get white gear. So it is, I am spamming buying as much stamina as possible to try to get gear upgrades. You see Muka's getting there, and then I think everyone after Muka has, oh no, Bot Mark doesn't either, but most of them have full gear upgrades. And look at that, Randall wants a new piece. Let's see, what does he get? Oh, a max one of those. Okay, cool, we'll give him that. Still love the look of Randall, but I guess I am using him in Terradome in week 2. So these are my heroes. Anybody past res I am not using. Not even worth upgrading. Never used them. I don't think I've used them once. Maybe Karma right at the beginning, but that's it. I'm not even using Xander in the Atlas faction mod. So I am hard stopped pretty much. Like you'll see the Loran node. I did 5-6 it and barely beat it. I am pretty much hard stopped at 10-5 until I get my Dan up a little bit more and get maybe a Gene into Leo. And then story, I have 29-11. Like I have surpassed by far how far I pushed the last time I did a free-to-play challenge in week 2. Like absolutely blew past. And that's mainly due to the fact that you get Leo and Dan so early now. I will draw your attention to the top left-hand corner. I do still have the recharge pack flashing, so proof that it is a free-to-play game, or a free-to-play account. Now let's go in to start showing you guys where I'm at in the border, or the perimeter, or whatever you want to call it. So arenas, you know, Hell Arena's going on. Doesn't really matter. Galactic Arena, I'm sitting in 9th, which is fairly good given that you see the Caraxias on the field. And then Normal Arena, I'm sitting in 10th right now. Again, not too bad for free to play against where the top 10 is fairly whaley. Fairly whaley. So that's my arenas. That's my PvP. Ancient Altar. So week 2, I am holding 2 keys for Sunday. I was able to 1 key Novice, Easy, and Normal. I will show you my teams, how I have them separated for week 2. So here's my AoE team for boss 1. Obviously, Falvia, Paluto, Luke, all energy. You see the commander that's flashing, and then Leo and a healer. Eventually, I'm going to need 2 healers in order to keep everyone alive. They just die really, really quickly. This team, it is basically all my summoners. And I can actually switch that. Okay, there we go. Dan, Kalaza, Senway, Muka. On normal, they were able to down this guy completely and get rid of the shields. And then Team 3 is basically Artis, Serena, and my multi-hit single target damage dealing heroes. Right? So those are all my heroes that I'm using to get Ancient Altar down. I'm fairly impressed with my progression. The fact that I can get normal down in 1 key this early into week. I guess it is the end of week 2, but it is Wednesday at the time of this recording. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days in. I think I even got this yesterday on a Tuesday. 2 days in, I was able to down 1 normal in 1 key. Soul Mine, I have pushed the faction floors as far as I can every day since they've been open. And then Soul Mine, I am hard stopped at this Luke node in 290. I'm basically using the same units that I'm using in Story Campaign as that I'm using for Soul Mine. I'm just subbing out Loran for Taylor in instances where I need more DPS and less healing. Otherwise, I am still using the same 4 heroes all the time: Serena, Artis, Leo, and Daniel. Crimson Abyss, I did manage to get stage or level 2 down this week. Not using summoners. I did try summoners in stage 3. Doing okay, but they were dying to rocks, so I got to get a few more levels on them. They just don't have it in stage 2. They can get down no problem. I can even sub out Kalaza for Taylor, turn his ultimate off, and then they do just fine. So I am farming stage 2 in Crimson, basically using my most highly developed heroes that I'm using everywhere else, right? Eventually, Senway and Kalaza will replace some of the other heroes, but right now they're fairly weak, and they don't even have fully upgraded gear. Lost Valley, I'm farming level 12 in week 2 across the board. All 3 dungeons in Lost Valley, I'm farming level 12. I'll show you the teams that I'm using. This one, obviously, the same heroes I use everywhere else, just no Leo. So Taylor jumped in the circle. Taylor's going to do the majority of my damage. Dan's Bear is going to do the rest of the damage, and then 2 healers keep them alive, and Artis to tank the hits. Disa Caves, this is going to be all your single target multi-hit damage heroes. So Artis is tanking. Serena can't face tank it herself yet and keep everyone else alive. I am jumping Taylor over to the corner here where I'm tapping on the screen and where the heal ad pops up. He handles it just fine, and this team does have enough damage and healing to ride out all of the damage the boss can do. So I am farming stage 12 here as well, and stage 12 as well for Sincero Marsh. However, Sincero Marsh is a lot more hands-on. So I am running Serena up front. She's tanking. And then I'm running Sorietta there, runs on auto because at that point she can target the main boss, whereas I do have Daniel, Taylor, and Falvia all on manual in order to control them to help clean up all the ads. And it is a hairy fight in stage 12. They do come close to dying, but they can down it fairly consistently and start getting, what are we getting? Red commanders. As you saw on some of the teams, I do have a fair amount of the red commanders. So stage 12 across the board in Lost Valley is capable to be done at the end of week 2. If we go into my base, we can show you some of the other inner workings. So command post, as I said, look at, I am up to and including S red level 25 commanders. Nothing great, nothing out of these. You see the heroes, nothing crazy, but they are a big bump up in stats, and they do offer some bonuses to the teams, specifically in PvP. But interesting you can start getting these red commanders fairly quickly when you start playing this game. Prototypes. So ignore the dominant nucleus. That was extremely lucky. That is probably 99% of people are never going to have that in week 2. But I am starting to accrue yellow prototypes and starting to level up the purples, right? So the dominant nucleus I got from the Quantum Mimic machine. I wish I had this kind of luck on my main account. I don't ever expect that again. But yes, I did get it, so I am using it because I did acquire it free to play. I don't think I really have to show you guys anything else inherent. Everyone's, like I said, butting up against 160. The collection, I'm starting to, and I'm not getting the keys very quickly because Hell Arena just opened up for me, so I haven't been able to purchase them. But it is more stats on heroes, but nothing crazy like my other accounts, right? So that, ladies and gentlemen, is about it. I wonder if we can talk about some events. So Set Sail Bosmina we're in day 6 of week 2. 2 days left, and then I do believe that event is gone forever. And I will probably choose a Rakana in my card. The purple runes and yellow runes are very rare. Even at this point, I could use 1,000 of them, but eventually you will have more than you'll ever need in this game. Hero Revolution event is going on for 2 more days. I will have the free copy of Daniel right there. Oh, I guess I shouldn't click on that. I will have the free copy of Daniel tomorrow after I acquire a new gene hybrid on the next limited recruitment event it'll be the new hunter, actually. Arcadia is who I'll be going for. So I will be able to get Dan up to probably Legendary 0 because I will be able to get that free-to-play copy. Yeah, should be able to get him to Legendary 0, which is standard. If you play your cards right, you should be able to get Dan to Legendary 0 right at the beginning of week 3. What else? I think that is about it, ladies and gentlemen. Now we'll talk about some tips and tricks.
Let me turn my mic on. So that was like listening to an 80-year-old version of myself, so I apologize. Like you could hear the exhaustion in my voice. I was wiped. So I showed you basically what I was using, but I didn't really teach you guys a whole lot of what to do in week 2. So at the very beginning of that clip, I said that week 2 is all about grinding. Grind, baby, grind. Grind, baby, grind, right? So let me move my head up here. So for story, you're gonna push story every day as far as you can get, because that's gonna give you your experience points for leveling up, right? And it's gonna give you purple runes, yellow runes, and stuff like that. And like I said in the video, your main team in week 2, and this is gonna be the main team in week 3 as well, is gonna be these two. And then you're gonna have Serena, and then you're gonna have Danny Boy. And then your 5th spot is going to be either Loran or Taylor, depending on what you need. So, say this was week 2, and you're doing story. Now, you see how there's a tank in here? You see how there's an Oisa? So, that means that you're going to pretty much have to bring in Taylor, because you need to bring in the hunter when you have tanky heroes, because Dan alone isn't really enough to do enough damage to get Oyster down. You're going to probably time out. So in story mode, you're going to run this group, this formation, and it's going to be your fifth spot's going to be dictated by the team that you face. If it's really tanky heroes, then bring in Taylor. If it's more AoE type, like you get those bats in the back or you get those spear chuckers, then just bring in 2 healers and just use Daniel, because you'll be able to do it all. You really have to tweak your lineup, your positionings. Like sometimes you'll just have to do something like that to pass it. Sometimes you'll have to do something like that with Loran in the back, or have Daniel in the back. Right, you're gonna have to really switch up your positionings as you're pushing story mode. You're gonna probably always have to run Daniel on manual in order to place his bear properly, because you really do want to drop the bear, say like on this fight, so that you get Ornn, because Ornn's just gonna pepper you with mortars and kill you. Some fights you're gonna have to run Leo on manual, because he'll die, because you're only gonna have a yellow copy, or like yellow 1 copy of Leo, maybe a little bit more if you took a different route in week 1, but sometimes you have to put Leo on manual. You really, like, there's this week 2 is really hands-on. There's a lot of time, but you really want to push story as far as you can, because the sooner you unlock Katoji and Triangle, the better gear you get. So you're going to push. You're going to hit a wall here, right? So then after you've pushed as far as you can, you're going to come in here. You're going to level up your heroes as much as you can, your top 5. And then you're going to come over to the perimeter, and you're going to go into Lost Valley, and you're going to try to get like 1 more level of Disa Caves or something like that, right? Just 1 more level of each. Maybe you'll get like a Pain Rune out of Terradome, which will really help you, because then Leo can stun people. You just got to push. You got to push in story, then you got to come over here, push a little in Soul Mine, and then come into the dungeons, upgrade a piece of gear. You really got to do everything you can, because you can capitalize on every little piece of progression in this game. So only do Ancient Altars on Sunday. Only finish Ancient Altars on Sunday. You saw in that footage I was able to 1-key Novice, Easy, and Normal, and then you have to wait till Sunday. And I do believe I showed you the teams as well. Another little tip is spend your diamonds on stamina, right? Like refreshes. So like in this Elite campaign, come in here, max that out. You want to as much as that as you can, because Elite campaign gives you Soul Rubelite and XP. You're gonna definitely want to up or buy all the stamina you can in Lost Valley. You're gonna use the 3, your daily 3 on Sincero, Marsh, and Terradome, and then you're gonna use 2. So you're gonna do a 5 attempt on Sincero, a 5 attempt on Terra to try to get commanders and prototypes, and then the rest of your stamina for that day you want to use in Disa Caves, because you really want to get as much good gear as possible, because that's going to be what propels you through another stage in story campaign the next day in week 2. Also Arena, this is a place where you can consider pushing it and maxing out your stamina, because every time you win a fight in Arena, and I'll show you one here. We'll go down. We'll pick on the bottom guy. Every time you win a fight, let's just fast forward, you get a reward. So this time it was 20 Rubelite. Not that much, but you'll get diamonds out of here. You'll get soul potions out of here, which is the big one, because that's what you need to upgrade your talents. So you're going to be really starved for soul potions early on in the game. So I do recommend you max out your attempts and pick on people that you know you can beat. Don't come in here and go for the top guy. Go all the way to the bottom. Keep refreshing until you find somebody that you can beat at the bottom, and then beat them, because you get nothing for an attempt and if you lose. So only attack what you can kill, right? Because you really do want all of the rewards that you can get from these battles early on in game. All right, so I think we're gonna go to the spreadsheet now, and then we can see. I do have hopefully some more tips and tricks that I can show you, talk to you about week 2. Bear with the blinding glare on my face as I pull this up. This spreadsheet is going to be linked in the description of this video. It is linked in the description of all my videos. I just need to hide week 3 so you guys don't see what's coming up. Right, hide. Okay. Right. Well, we'll just leave him there. We'll go like this. Screw it. We'll leave him there. Okay. So, let's go over there. We're going to have to make sure my head's turned off so you can actually see it. And then we need to blow it up because this is way too small. All right. Oop. Wrong window. Okay. So, let's see. No, we need it bigger. We need it bigger. All right. There we go. Okay. Week 2. So this kind of gives it away that Ampu's in week 3, but you'll figure that out eventually. So week 2. Here's the strategy you're going to do in week 2. So you're going to have a Daniel banner and an Emma banner. You're going to pull 60 tickets to pity on the Daniel banner, and you should have enough limiteds going into week 2 that you can pull that 60 day 1. If you didn't, oh wait, that's one more hint that I have to mention to you guys. Every day, take a really close look at Fatty's treasure up here, because you'll get the chance to get limited tickets out of here. So here's one. It's a small one, right? You got the little box and the big box. So if you see the little box or the big box, little boxes are better. Little joke there. Buy it with crystals every day, because what do you get? What do we get? We get limited tickets out of that too. Every limited ticket counts when you're free to play in your early game. So there's another tip. Always be on the lookout. Always check what you can get for crystals out of Fatty's treasure. All right, so where were we? Okay, yes, pull 60 tickets to pity on Daniel's banner. Daniel is so important to progression in the early weeks. And then buy the Gene Hybrid off of the Daniel banner and use it on Daniel. You need to do that because you need 4 copies of Daniel to get the free 5th copy in the first 2 days of week 3. So here's all the events. Yeah, Daniel Elite Chapter. You get a free copy of Daniel in the Elite Chapter. I don't know why I didn't show that in the video. That's very easy. Make sure you do the Elite Chapter every day because you really, really need that free copy of Daniel. And then you also get limited tickets out of there. You get some other goodies out of there. A free Senway copy. Senway is going to be really important for you. Daniel Hero Evolution event, like I said. Free Daniel copy at Mythic 1. Need 4 copies to get it. You will not get it in week 2. You will get it in week 3 because this event carries over into week 3. The recruitment event, don't worry about it. Although I did pull some advanced tickets. You see down here on the right side that I spent 60 limiteds. But I did spend 120 advanced tickets. That got me a free copy of Serena, which was important. You're not going to get this free copy of Daniel at 500. You're not going to do it unless you're spending money or unless you didn't pull a single advanced ticket in week 1 or a limited ticket in week 1 and you bypass week 1 altogether. But then you'll miss out on Leo. Don't do that. You're just going to have to forego this. This is a carrot. This free Daniel at 500, that is a carrot to try to get you to spend money in this game. Elite Selector, Randall, Rakana, Paluno. Pick whoever you need more of. All 3 are good early game. The Quantum Mimic event is open. As I said, I did get the Dominant Nucleus, but it is RNG. Normally it will cost you $300 to get everything out of this event. So don't worry if you get nothing. You're still going to get some decent rewards that are going to help you progress free to play week 2. Set Sail Bosmina, you get limited tickets out of here, you get advanced tickets out of here, and you get a free selection card at the end. Story campaign, you're going to get a Boar copy at 47, Hercules at 49, and such and such and such, right? Just that's why you got to keep pushing story. You want those free copies of heroes early on. And then Faction Soul Mine, the Faction Soul Mine, not the main Soul Mine. You're going to get a free copy of Randall, Paluno, and Taylor on their respective factions' 30th floor. So make sure you're pushing those faction soul mines because you don't want to miss out on a free Randall and a free Taylor. Specifically Taylor. You want that free copy of Taylor. Make sure you're pushing the dungeons, everything, every day as far as you can if you want to maximize what you can do free to play in week 2. Alright, so Daniel Day 1. This is like the tips in this box. Daniel Day 1 is going to be a huge help. Huge help. Only pull 60 limited tickets because you want to save the rest for week 3, which is a double chip event. You get even better rewards for saving your limiteds and spending them in week 3. So Week 1, you only pull 60 to get 1 copy of Leo. Week 2, you only pull 60 to get one free copy of Daniel. And then you want to hold the line. Don't spend them. So we, in our guild, we unlocked Guild Hunt. So you do want to make sure you are in an active guild where you have a lot of members that are participating, doing their daily so that you can open Guild Hunt. Even really early on, having small rosters, you get so many stat upgrades from the rewards from Guild Hunt. I think we only killed boss number 3, but still you get those rewards, and then you can put them into like 5 points of attack for summoners or 5 health for support. You get so much stats from Guild Hunt. So in week 2, or even in week 1, if you make it to the point where you can join a guild, I'm gonna cough. Make sure you get into an active guild right off the bat. It is very, very important. So as I said in the video clip, and as I said just after the video clip, Leo and Artis, Taylor and Daniel, and Sarita and Loran are going to be your MVPs in most of the content week 2. You have to try all variations to progress past story walls. We discussed that. Christmas skin, just disregard that. The Christmas skin is available, but you have to spend money in week 2 to get the Christmas skin, and it's really not worth it. It's just a 2% attack and HP bump. If needed, at the end of week 2, start to tank your Galactic Arena rank to prepare for an event, the Galactic Treasure, in week 3. And then here you can see what I actually cleared up to in the dungeons. And then in week 2, you still want to pull all of your advanced tickets as you get them. This is a contentious topic, but this is one I'm going to say to do, because you really do need to get as many elite copies as you can early on to progress you as far as you can in all of the respective game modes. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much all of the tips and tricks. That is pretty much everything that I can impart on you to give you the best chance to have the best account in week 2. It does require a lot of time. You don't have to follow this guide. This guide's just available to show you what is possible free to play. And as you see, I'm competing. In week 2, I was at the top of my cluster. Not the tippity top, because I'm not spending money on that account. But I'm at the top. I'm top 10 on most everything. Free to play with all the bells and whistles, or not all the bells and whistles, but enough bells and whistles that I'm enjoying myself and having a good time. So ladies and gentlemen, this was the phone it in ultimate beginner's guide to week 2. I hope you enjoyed it. Any comments or questions? If you're brand new to the game, my Discord link is in the description of this video. Pop into my Discord. I'm always available to answer questions, and there's also a lot of good people in my Discord that can help you with your questions as well. So welcome to Eternal Evolution. Have fun in week 2. Hope it goes well from you. I will see you in week 3. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, cheers, peace, bye-bye. Bye-bye.